Few videos I came across where I was like, what the fuck? And this video is about why you should take making your art seriously. I try to play nice. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna piss off a few people, but
the biggest piece of art in the last decade was this. I'm going to expose the art world. I'm going to say a bunch of things that people don't have the balls to say. She puts polka dots on things.
You know, she makes dots and she puts dots on things. First of all, I take issue with artists who claim to be artists and they are actually more content creators on the peripheral edge of hobby.
You. Bitch, I knew you was fake! Get your broke ass out of here, old fake ass frontin' for 5 years, you got it!
Like I always say, if you can't say anything nice about someone, come sit by me!
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Henry Haight, and to the rest of you, welcome and thank you for coming. Today's video is, well, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna piss off a few people, but because I mean, as an artist, I like to keep up on current events, certain things. Also, I like to on this platform of YouTube, I actually like to hear the ideas and the concepts of other artists, as well as what other YouTubers think. And there are some, first and foremost, there are some that are, I think, that are highly talented, highly skilled, and they deserve all the success in the world. And they use YouTube as a platform to further progress their work, their fishing net, and to gain more exposure, which is vital in today's economy, as well as in the climate of, you know, the fishbowl media. You have to play the game. Now, there are a few videos I came across where I was like, what the fuck? Normally, you know, I try to play nice. I try to, you know, but I'm gonna first and foremost say I am one, not demure. I can be mindful, but not demure. No. But yeah, there was a video by a shadow artiste, God help me, that there was this debunking a myth that anyone could make it, and essentially that art, modern art, was bullshit. And another one by a guy named Dries Ketels, who virtually rambled on.
Do you guys know that the biggest piece of art in the last decade was this? And you could be the next big thing, and you don't even know it. I'm going to expose the art world. I'm going to show you things you've never seen before. So come on, let's go into the studio. I'm going to say a bunch of things that people don't have the balls to say. Make sure to stay to the end of the video. I got this one artist that I want to show you, man. He's going to blow your mind. Hey guys, Shadow Artiste here, grinding away at a dream, and hopefully you are too. Okay, so I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get right to it. Can you do this? Huh? How about this? Can you do this? I think you can. Do you know there's an artist, Yayoi Kusama? She is the biggest artist in the world right now. She's like the Michael Jordan of art. Guys, she puts polka dots on things. And she's one of the biggest artists in the world.
I'm going to break down why modern art is a hollow shell of what art used to be. Here we see Richard Prince's Instagram series, where he takes other people's Instagram posts and then prints them on large canvases. But to be fair, he also adds his own signature comment, a highly sophisticated comment, like for example this one. Cloud emoji, thunder emoji, sunshine emoji. Now, Plunder Prince doesn't want to do a lot of work. Plunder Prince likes the idea of a small task or core. Plunder Prince wants to get paid for commentary instead of making art. Plunder Prince loves blatantly plagiarizing other people's Instagram posts and selling them for tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes even as high as $100,000. And people were outraged. People sued Plunder Prince for it, and they obviously won because Plunder Prince, this is not art. I mean, this is absolutely plagiarizing people's posts. Observation number 2. This is Tracey Emin's My Bed. A bed that she installed in a gallery. Now, this is a very interesting artwork because this is her bed that she sleeps in. She didn't change anything about it. She just took it from her home together with all of the other stuff, and then she puts it in a gallery. The bed is made by the bed company. The bed sheets are made by the bed sheet company. The cigarette things are made by the cigarette company. Nothing is made by Tracey Emin. But art historians are praising this work. Art historians are explaining us how this is a breakthrough in contemporary art, how it is genius. Art historians will explain
2,000 years later
why the narrative around her depression in this piece is so glorious. Art historians will even go as far as to say that this is a beautiful example of voyeurism and self-exploitation, and because of that, it's a genius work of art.
1 million, zillion, jillion, dillion, cotillion times later.
Now here is my naive, silly artist perspective on the matter. If voyeurism and self-exploitation is the main thing that this artwork is doing, then I cannot but think with my naive brain that prostitution is doing a better job of that. Prostitutes are walking over Tracey Emin like it's nothing. Prostitutes are making better art than Tracey Emin.
Now, the issue I have with both of these, or in general, especially right now, there's so much misinformation, and young people are impressionable because they look at these videos and they could take it as gospel, and then when they virtually go out in the real world and virtually say the digital world is one thing and the real world, and they try to have these concepts or ideologies that don't always pan out. What? Say hello. Hello, you're crazy. They don't always give them the whole picture, and this is one of the things that this video is essentially a rebuttal. So, one, contemporary art, modern art, and art in general is not bullshit. Now, YouTube art is different because it's a lot unto itself. The concepts are what a lot of people, there seems to be a lot of the gaming industry, and nothing wrong with that. Etsy artists, again, nothing wrong with that. However, when they turn their nose up at high art or modern art or contemporary art, they're actually, in a sense, turning their nose up at certain things that virtually reflect modern day context of what is actually happening in the world. Art throughout the centuries has reflected what is happening in real life. Great art does that. An Etsy artist doesn't actually do that, and I'm not diminishing what an artist in Etsy does, but what I'm saying is when it comes to modern and contemporary art, it reflects what is happening in real life. Okay? One. Now, this Dries Kettle guy who was saying, that prostitutes make better art than Tracey Emin, and I've met Tracey Emin several times, and she's lovely. She could be a bit standoffish, but after you get a few in her, hey. I wasn't a fan of some of her work, but the representation of My Bed is indicative of an interpersonal space. We cry in bed, we live in bed, we spend about 70% of I think we spend about 60% of our lives in bed. And for this artist to put all these things, the vodka bottles, the Valium or whatever, the accoutrements, use condoms, cigarette ashes, like the stained sheets after, you know, an intimate relation with a gentleman, was pretty groundbreaking, especially for a woman, because normally women throughout history have been objectified. And there's a book called The Idols of Perversity, which it virtually indicates how women have been vilified or made the Madonna whore throughout history in art. They've been objectified, they've been vilified. But here's a woman who put her mattress, her actual bed, as an indicator of who she is as a person, a woman, and a human. And these two people just kind of dismiss contemporary art in that context. And I don't knock anyone on Etsy or, you know, Instagram or to do the hustle is the hustle first and foremost, okay? So I respect the hustle. However, when they diminish these things and they're like, oh, this is, you know, this is bullshit, it's because their narrow perception misses the mark on what they're actually seeing. And this video is about why you should take making your art serious, because one, it may seem like you're on an uphill battle, or you're just swimming and flailing around trying to find your footing creatively and trying to find a voice, because one, you need to reflect your world and what you want to say within that world. If it's painful, if it's, you know, you have to filter it through your hands, your eyes, your gut, and your instinct and your imagination. If it's happy, you're trying to work through something like, you know, recovering from cancer, or, you know, getting married. You put that into the work, and essentially you're a storyteller. End of the day. That's what we do. We observe and we tell a story. I don't get some art, and I'm not a big fan of cerebral art where I have to actually read panels of pages and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. However, I allow myself to virtually I should be drinking milk and blah, 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 right? Yes. My co-host for the show. Hey. Go on. Back to cerebral art. It's, you know, I feel like it has to be spoon-fed to me, whereas for me, good art should be reactionary to when I see it. Yes, no, is it good? What is the impact? And every artist should try to do that. And with whatever they're doing, to make an impact, to tell the story. I take issue with artists who claim to be artists, and they are actually more content creators and on the peripheral edge of hobbyists, fronting as artists. There's a difference. Because if you look at their social media, if you look at their feeds, and you look at their website and everything, there's ideas, there's minimal art. It's like, hey, come, you know, listen to me, like, learn from me. But there's no art for you to actually decipher. Do I want to know if this person is worthy of, like, teach me any skills to better my own work? And it is hard enough for an artist right now in the 21st century to truly make a living. A lot of people on YouTube are saying, well, I'm an artist, but yet they get corporate sponsorship, has really nothing to do with art. However, you know, and they get a big chunk of cheddar for that. And again, I don't knock the hustle, but I'm relatively sticking to the lane of making art and trying to teach not those people, but the person who's watching this video to this. If you stick to your guns, you will eventually get there, because no one is going to sell your art better than you. I have said this 1,000 times, because you have to believe in what you're creating. And when you're with a collector, when you're with an art consultant or a director of a gallery, or a city official who's trying to consider you for a mural, they're going to see it in your eyes. Does this person fucking believe what they can actually do? And secondly, can they deliver? And this is the thing, that if you want to do these things, the only person who's going to get in the way of that is you. Bar none. Not me, you. And it could be your fear factor. It could be, like, we all struggle with that, but we have to kind of flip the switch and get on with it. And the thing that is satisfying within that is that when you are dealing with your artwork, you are alone with an inanimate object, a piece of paper, a sculpture, clay, whatever, a pen and paper, doesn't matter. But you are trying to convey something. And who's to say in 100 years, 150 years, that what you created is considered a masterpiece? If you look at any artist throughout history, they have all made a massive body of work, and maybe they're lucky if 2, 3, 6 pieces are considered masterpieces, but they have a massive collective body of work, and that takes time. The Shadow Artiste responded to my comment, and he's like, relax bro, I'm just having fun. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but if you're going to teach people this thing, you need to first open the perspective and your viewpoint of what actual art is, rather than what you think art should be for you, because that's not how art works. I can walk into an art gallery, I don't have to necessarily like anything, but I respect that they've taken the time and effort to actually do something like that. This Dries Ketels guy, he has that one fucking painting in the back. Jesus, switch it up, guy. It's like, if you're an artist, show us something different, show us something new, just not these convoluted verbal diarrhea word salad things. And I think that's where a lot of people, especially within this platform, could get what's the word I'm looking for? They can feel let down because they want to curb or cut the middleman out, or the efforts to virtually go from A to Z, but they just want to, they want to fast track it, and there's no way to do that. But the whole issue is what you do, and your hard work is going to pay off. If you make quality work, if you make something that someone's going to go, yes, I love this, I want this, no matter what it is, and your style and medium, you are in the point right now where you have to develop not only a style, but an aesthetic. And the whole thing is, style is different than aesthetic, because a style is how you express yourself, how you can, in what school of abstract. Now, the difference between style and aesthetic are two different things. Style is how you visualize and present a style, a form of action, either abstraction, portraiture, minimalism, pencil drawings, and virtually the skill of actually doing a technique and how you're expressing that. The aesthetic is the overall of you, the artist, your personality, your brand, how you package your art, how you present your website, the aesthetic overall, the feel of who you are as a person. And right now, art is a minimal section. I would say about 35-40% of an artist's success. The other point comes to the artist as a brand, or their personality. I have a big personality, and that tends to get me into a lot of trouble. And the weird thing is that I've had great successes with it, and sometimes they go, they put moral clauses: don't get arrested, don't do this, don't badmouth, no, and that's fine. I will play the game because that's part of what I wanted. The 14-year-old me thought that I'm just going to paint and draw, and people are going to buy my art, and that be the end of it. The 56-year-old me is sending repeated emails, taping and taping and taping and taping postal tubes, flat packed boxes of prints, artwork, and virtually tracking numbers and sending them to people, invoicing, repeat invoicing, and virtually trying to come up with a new concept or ideas of where I want to take my work, and repeated meetings, and virtually trying to network with other artists or looking for representation. Recently, one of my long-term galleries has closed after 14 years, and virtually I was in Los Angeles and my gallery was in London. They said, hey, you've got 30 days to come collect your stuff. And luckily I sorted it out, but trying to do that from Los Angeles while my shit is in London is with one of the spaces to send to my storage unit is, these are the things that I have to deal with as a working artist. You never see that shit on YouTube. It's like, they go to the park, they draw, they sit by a river, they go to a thrift store. That's great. That is a content creator. That is a hobbyist.
You. Bitch, I know you was fake. Get your broke ass out of here, old fake ass fronting for 5 years. You got it.
But, it's a different story when you give 10 pieces of artwork to a gallery and they do a runner. And you're like, that's about 14 grand's worth of work disappeared. And none of this has ever cost. So the whole thing is that you have to figure out, one, what you want to say and how you want to say it. And do you believe what you do, and edit that work and keep trying to filter it to where you hone down your style and develop an aesthetic of who you are as an artist and a brand. There's the strategy of that is part of the gallery director. You have to be slightly savvy of your own branding, because when you're at a private view or a group show, I call it shaking hands and sucking cocks. You're going to have to explain the work over and over again. And if you don't have it down, the collector or the person interested in your work isn't going to buy it, because they don't like, I don't get this person's spiel. And that's the truth. You have to virtually believe in what you do first and foremost. You have to head fuck yourself when you go. It's like doing a play. I don't want to say it's performative, but you have to get down what in your head how the pitch. And it took me a while, because you're standing in front of one or two people. One person loves it, the other says, I'm not sure. We have kids. Blah blah. It's a business. These are the things that take work and effort. And it's one thing for someone to go, I'm an artist and I'm going to shit all over someone who's become greatly successful. And for this, shadow artiste, he was talking shit about Yayoi Kusama. She makes dots and she puts dots on things. First of all, she came into success after 6 decades of trudging her work and people ripping her off and doing the multiples like Andy Warhol and never really giving her flowers or credit. And the art world is very much a boys' club, and dealing with checking herself into a mental institution in 1977 and still being there, and then virtually getting acclaim and success in her 60s while living in a mental institution where she still lives to this day, is a feat of miraculous, mind-boggling wonder. It's like, wow, that's impressive. She beat the fucking odds. And she's no different than any artist who fucking puts the work in. You're trying to beat the odds and make your work impactful, virtually of quality, archival, and fucking good for you and virtually, if you believe it, you could have a good season, a good year. I've had very good years, and then years where I couldn't give this shit away, and I still keep at it, and that is the name of the game. we can't always have these highs and then virtually keep going, because eventually we do this and we have to ebb and flow. If you're going to treat it as your life's calling, your life's work, you have to know that your work has to matter now, tomorrow, 100 years from now. And that's where the effort, and not in 3 easy steps, not in, hey, make, 150,000 in a month, because all that shit is just snake oil juice and people trying to like cut to the chase of doing the actual fucking work. And the choice is yours. Which door do you want to take? Do you want to take the so-called easy route and manage your disappointments, or fucking work hard and go, you know what, and try to step up every which way? You have to network, and virtually the path to getting this, and this is where I have an issue with Kelsey Rodriguez and strategies and marketing and this and that. No. You have to be strategic, yes. However, you do a show or a group show. You do another group show. You do another group show. You start meeting artists. Group show, group show, group show, group show, group show. You start developing a body of work. Someone sees a running theme. You have to have some running themes or a missionary statement of what you're trying to convey and say about you, your world, your voice, your vision. If someone says, I really like what this person's doing, it's interesting, let me see some more work. And then they go, hey, let me give you a solo show. You've fucking been in the trenches for 2-3 years, and you've got to kick out 20, 25 pieces or however big. You then start developing this. Then you move on to installations, to where a group show, you do more of an installation, and your website, your social media starts documenting all these things. Your Facebook, your Instagram, your Tumblr, your blogger, all these things are goalposts to virtually cast or point your fisherman's net, to virtually, when all these hubs come in searching for these things, you have a wide enough net to catch a larger audience. And that's virtually how you start building and gaining momentum. Eventually, if you start doing installations, you want to try to get notified through noticed through institutions, because now institutions are starting to look at street artists, graffiti artists, tattoo artists, artists that are not actually classically trained in the institution or the educational realm. You don't necessarily have to be a properly trained artist through schools to get into these institutions and galleries now. There are a few that virtually have made it. However, it takes years of work, and it's up to you to decide, do I want to be a hobbyist, or do I want to just be a content creator, or fuck, I want to try to grab the bass ring and see how far I can take this. And that's where I'm trying to figure out right now. I want to take it as far as I could. I became a tattoo artist because I couldn't make any money fucking selling paintings, and all of a sudden a few famous people sat in my lap, and Nissan Motors called, and then it just snowballed. And I'd be a fucking idiot if I didn't take it, because someone else would. And it gave me a bigger audience. And I am thankful for that. And I am still going, okay, I still have to do this. That's why I'm here talking to you. But as long as your work is credible and archival and virtually impactful, definitive of who you are as an individual and a brand, an aesthetic and a style, all encompassing, you're telling a story, you're going to be all right. End of. I don't care what this, what the hell is that guy's name again? Dries, Kettle, or Shadow Artiste, or the Kelsey Rodriguez, because essentially you're on your own path. Your path is different from theirs. It's not going to be the same. Your work will not be the same from theirs. So people can respond differently to that art. So you have to decide, how am I going to do this? Who's my collector? How do I want to say this work? And where do I want to take that art? Do I want to go into an institution, or do I want to sell street art? Do I want to do whatever? But and virtually find your entry level work that you're willing to like build upon, and your aspirational of where's your target. And it's taken me 14 years to get to the 5-figure or 6-figure point, 5-figure right now. I'm not at the 6-figure. The most expensive piece I have that I'm trying to sell is a 14,000 pound quilt, not quilt, tapestry. But I've invested in myself, and you have to invest in yourself, and you have to believe what you do is worth that. So that is why in 100 years or 200 years, your artwork matters. And you need to if you're doing it now, you need to take it seriously if that's where you want to take it. Because I'm sure Vincent van Gogh didn't think, hey, I'm going to be, a celebrated artist, 100, 200 years later. Sure, Devin Rodriguez may be the most followed artist on the planet. So is Kim Kardashian and her big ass. Just because McDonald's is fed the most people doesn't mean it's the most nutritious. And it's not a dig, kind of. But, I made this channel to inspire people to virtually make something unique about themselves. That is what is going to make people interested in your work. You're going to make a sharp left. And that's a hard thing to say because you put in your persona, yourself, your story on a wall for others to judge and stuff. And you kind of have to let it go. And I guarantee you, the more you do this, the easier it gets. And essentially, you will hit the target to where you want to go with it if you keep at it. But you have to be disciplined about it. And, no YouTuber can sit there and say, fuck that Henry Haight and his fucking famous drug addicts. Yep. Yeah, bitch. I've been around the world and what? With my work. So I didn't set out to do that. But I did set out to virtually want to make a difference in the world. When I left art school, I very drunkenly went up to the president of Tama, Finland, and asked him how to get a job, and lo and behold, he gave me some liberties being his assistant, and I put a female artist on the Dispatch newsletter, and that caused a row of shit. But I was always thinking, okay, I want to think outside the box, and that's always been me. I met Ron Athey, the performer arts artist, while I was working at Tama, Finland, at that time in the early 90s, and this was all before social media, and we had to it was very punk DIY ethic, do it yourself. And I'm telling you guys, you will have to do that yourself. So please, when you look at artwork, don't just think, okay, it's a urinal or a urinal. So what? You have to understand the concept, the effort of the rule of thumb of how to look at a work. When I look at Agnes Martin minimalist painting, I look into a void, but I also think of those things to where, you look at those early 80s posters that if you look at them long enough, you see like a ship or something. That is how I look now at an Agnes Martin. But it took me time because I had to open my own perception and understand this and the effort that woman took to make that. When I go into a Kusama Infinity Room, I'm overwhelmed, and only for those 30 seconds, and the reaction of what it feels like. When I saw a Basquiat, David Bowie's Basquiat, the marvel and taking the hand action of the painting in. Those are the things you should be doing for yourself to improve your own art. Don't listen to anybody else. Look at what you like, build upon that, and keep going. Keep creating. So with that, I'm going to shut the hell up and virtually, just know you need to take your art seriously, because if you don't, no one else is going to. So I'm going to ask you, how do you want to start making your own work? All right. So Smokey is Smokey. Playing with my emotions is like playing with my money, Smokey. My emotions is like playing with my money is like playing with my emotions. Anyways, don't forget that like and subscribe button, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Keep coming back and keep creating. Be good to yourselves, and I'll see you. Fly low and avoid the radar. Peace.